Hey ladies, I was just asked a few weeks ago to do a few videos pertaining to Army wife life because I haven't been posting in so long. So I just wanted to answer some questions that I've been getting. So I'm going to be recording a couple of videos today so that you guys can check them out like subject by subject, so you're not watching one long video with topics that may not pertain to you. So this first video is PCSing. I don't know if you guys know, but we just PCSed to Fort Lewis from Fort Bliss. So from Texas to Washington, if you guys didn't know, Washington State, about 2.5, almost 3 months ago. And so I'll tell you about the experience, and this is just what happened for us, and you can use the information to help yourself or find out what works for you, because every situation is not the same. Even if someone did exactly how we did it, your PCS probably won't go exactly how ours went. So yeah, we PCSed in May. So I'll tell you how this went. Scheduling and getting orders and stuff was a big problem because I was still in school. My husband was supposed to report before me, so we kept having like scheduling issues. So we ended up just allowing the Army to move us. It was easier for us because we have a son. Driving that long of distance with him would be impossible. He does not like being in the car longer than an hour. So we decided to have the Army move for us, and oh my God, thank God we did. Okay, so what happened is they picked up our stuff May 19th. I had finals up until the 18th. So, you know, once finals were over, I could come home, relax. My husband was already in Washington May 11th, I believe. So we left. We got our stuff picked up. All I had to do was sit there. I helped them, of course, although they kept asking me, telling me, you don't have to help us. But I wanted to help, you know, clean stuff while they were going. Look as they're packing so I can tell them that's garbage. Oh no, I don't want that, da da da. Or pack that more, because it's more fragile, whatever. Stuff like that. So what really helped was I pulled aside everything that my son and I and my husband requested for me to take on the plane, because you're allowed 4 bags each person. We didn't take that many, but we were allowed 4 bags per person because on the flight, because you're PCSing. And make sure you have your husband's orders. If you don't have your husband's orders, you may be charged for the bags. So I set all of our clothes, toothbrushes, hair stuff, toys, couple of toys for my son, iPad, chargers, cleaning stuff so I can finish cleaning our apartment, all aside in the bathtub, along with our suitcases, stuff that we needed for the couple days we were going to be in the apartment left over. Set all that aside so that the packers won't accidentally pack in. We also set aside my air mattress and blankets and stuff. So yeah, so we set all that aside, and then in the midst of them packing, transporters came to pick my husband's car up. So Army does not pay to move any cars. Whether you have 1, 2, or 5 cars, they don't pay for a single one, as far as in our case. And I think they used to pay for cars, but they don't anymore, as far as what we were told. So we put blankets, some extra clothes for my husband, some toys, and some clothes for me in my husband's car because it left before my car. So that way I don't have to pack a ton of stuff and get on an airplane and to the airport with my little one with like 8 things of luggage, which would be impossible because you already have the car seat, the stroller, you know, your carry-on, all that stuff. So we put that in my husband's car, and his car got to Washington 3 or 4 days after he got here. So it worked out really well. And he had a friend to drive him to look for apartments and stuff. So anyway, back to the move. They moved everything, they labeled it, I watched them, I looked at everything, and then as everything was packed, the next day they came and picked up everything, and they did inventory again, and I signed that. And once everything was out of the apartment, I finished cleaning, and then like 2 days after that we left. So we were in an empty apartment for 2 days, which wasn't a problem. We got to relax, enjoy the El Paso sun with my son. We just got to play and enjoy mommy and son time, and we did a lot of like eating out, stuff like that, which is why I gained so much weight. I think I said that in my 30-day challenge. But we ate out a lot. Then when we got to Washington, my husband had already found an apartment like 2 days before he got our tickets, our keys. And that worked out really well because we didn't have to pay for 2 months of, I mean, we had to pay for 2 months of rent, but it was prorated, so we only paid like 2 weeks of rent in this apartment, which worked out really well. And out here in Washington, they have an RPP program, which means you don't have to pay deposit or first and last. You just have to pay first, of course, and your application fee. And then your rent is taken out of your check, almost like you lived on post, and our rent was discounted like $120 a month. So for a 3-bedroom, this apartment would have been like $12.80. We got a discount also because they were trying to rent this apartment for so long, so we ended up paying only like $10.50 for a 3-bedroom, 1,200 square feet, 15 minutes away from Post, as far as where my husband works on North Post. So it worked out really well. We got to Washington mid-May, and then our stuff came 2 weeks later. And I will tell you that wait was crazy because I was so excited to get our stuff here. My car got here, I think, a week after we got here. That was hell. So I'll talk about car transportation and stuff like that to make it easier for you guys in another video. But because we were in a new place, and I've never lived anywhere like Washington, we're from California, so we were constantly out of the apartment. My husband got TDY and TDY money, so that's really big. Because I came after my husband, and because we didn't have an apartment exactly when we got here, or when he got here, he got TDY. I'm sorry, I'm not really sure how that works, but basically he sent in a form, and we got like $2,200 back because I came here after him, and he got 10 days off. If I'm chopping some things up, if you know exactly what it is, put it down below, but don't get at me because, like I said, he was telling me, and my husband's one of those short word people, and as long as it's done, he doesn't tell me details, and as far as like the paperwork, because honestly, his memory, he forgets sometimes anyway. So so that was kind of cool, but we just traveled. We went to Seattle, we went to the zoos, we went to the malls, like everything was different here. We went hiking, and so we just stayed a lot of time out the house. So by the time I started getting cabin fever or like really bored of my stuff, we got cable, and then cable kind of helped me with keeping my mind off the fact that we didn't have furniture yet, or our furniture here yet. And then my furniture got here, and once my furniture got here, I literally felt like home. I started decorating right away, started buying here and there, and it worked really well. Now I'll tell you, they did damage a few things, but like I said, we didn't spend that much money on our furniture in our last apartment. Just a couple pieces, like my son's stuff was like his crib and stuff, our TV or stuff like that. But I'm really cheap. I like to be frugal. So some of the stuff I bought was like cheap furniture, and I kind of regret that. No, I regret it. So they broke my son's dresser, the leg off his dresser. It was a cheapy, like pressed wood dresser. It was like $300. I got it on sale for like $129. They broke the leg off our TV stand, again, pressed wood. I got that on sale for like $70. It was normally $200. They broke our cheap laptop. I got it on sale for like $150. It was normally $300. They gave us the original sale, or original prices as far as money back for the stuff they broke. So that was pretty cool because we can replace it with good quality stuff with the money they gave us back. Like I said, I'm a stickler for sales, and I'm glad I looked for them. And the stuff that they broke weren't old because we bought most of the stuff after deployment or during deployment, so I could find receipts, or I could find the exact product still online. So I sent those along with the pictures, and gave them to the adjuster when she came. So keep your receipts, keep your pictures, whatever you can before you move or while you're buying. It really helps. And then, so we're still waiting for the check. It should be here by Wednesday, because it takes 30 days to physically get your check for your broken stuff from the claim. Ridiculous amount of time, but we didn't really need the stuff right away. So I'm not really tripping about that. They didn't break anything of value. Like my husband and I, our dresser was really nice. I was afraid they were going to break that. Not a single scratch on that. Our TVs, we have a 50-inch, a 22-inch, and a 40-inch. And not a single scratch, not a bump bruise on that. None of our pictures were broken. None of our paperwork was stolen, even though I kept all the important stuff. So that's another thing. When I said I put all that stuff in the bathtub, all of the birth certificates, marriage certificates, social security cards, tax papers, my son's doctor's stuff, shot records, all that stuff I kept with me in the bathtub, so that if they lost it, I'd be screwed, and it would take me months to replace all that stuff. I kept it with me. So keep that with you, or put it in your car when you transport it. But I'd rather keep it with me, honestly. Jewelry, my husband's hats, he wanted me to take with him, but I put them in his car. His expensive shoes, we put them in the car, because he has some really expensive Jordans that he's never worn before, that are really old. Put them in the car, stuff like that. So always separate the stuff that you know of value with you, in your person, in your luggage, in your car, somewhere where the boxes won't get mixed up, because I've heard that a lot about people moving with the Army's movers, is boxes will get moved and shift, and you'll lose stuff. And we didn't lose a single thing, so we were lucky. But that's pretty much how PCS worked. They were really nice, the people that came and picked up the stuff, packed the stuff, unpacked the stuff, super nice. They took all the boxes and wrapping stuff. We didn't have to throw them away. They helped us with, they lifted everything into the house. Like, we live on the 3rd story in our apartment, and they lifted everything. Oh my gosh, that was such a blessing. We didn't have to lift anything, and having my son, who's curious about everything, that helped a lot, because I could just hold him. When they came and packed our stuff in El Paso, he was in daycare, so he came back to an apartment full of boxes, and then the next day he came to an apartment full of, it was empty. So he was like, what the heck, what's going on here? So so those are little things. So just pack your stuff separately. Take pictures of everything of value. Like, I took pictures of all my my furniture, my big stuff, my crib, my son's crib, his 2 dressers, my dresser, our nightstands, our TV stands, all TVs actually, my desk. Even in my desk I'm looking at right now, and there's not a single scratch on it, and it's pressed paper, it's pressed wood. So like I said, it was a great experience. The only thing that I hated was waiting the 2 weeks for my stuff. But like I said, when you're in a new place, you want to travel and you want to look around. So we weren't going to be cooped up sitting on our couches anyway. So, oh, that's another thing I put in my husband's car was an air mattress. Our really expensive air mattress. So it could be here by the time my son and I got here, because we didn't want to have him sleep on the floor, although he ended up sleeping on the floor because he kept almost rolling off the air mattress. He's a wild sleeper. So that's pretty much it. I'll talk about some other topics as far as PCSing, but Fort Lewis is really nice. We've got here when it's been perfect weather, 75 to 85, perfect weather, while El Paso's 105, 110 right now. So it's been great, and I would not change it for the world as far as having the Army move us, because we have a son. If we would have been able to move ourselves, I probably would have done that. Maybe not, because like I said, 3rd story, we have to carry everything. If we broke something, I'd be pissed, because I would have to be the one to replace it. Driving that long a time, I don't like driving that long, but if it was just me and my husband, we probably would have done it. Also, the fact that I had finals, my husband had to be here early. He would have to leave me in an apartment empty for a week and a half, or 10 days, like I said, 10 days while I finished my finals and stuff like that. So it worked out really well. So if you guys have any questions about PCSing, anything like that, leave them below, and I'll see you in the next video that I'm going to record. I think you'll like it. I'll see you guys later. Bye.